Hi friends, it's Holly Jones from Mrs. Jones Stitches. Welcome to Flosstube number 50. Today is Wednesday, March 26th, 2025, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. If you're new to my channel, this is a channel about cross-stitch plans that I have, things I'm working on, things I've finished, what I've bought, things like that. So I'm so happy you're joining me today. I've had a lot of new subscribers, so if you are new to my channel, and you like what you see, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm happy you're here. I know I had quite a few mentions this last week, so anyway, welcome. Let's see, we had spring break last week. My son Parker is in kindergarten, so we went to the lake. My parents have a lake house at Lake Eufaula, which is about 2 hours east of Oklahoma City. So we went to the lake Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. We stayed down there. I had to work on Thursday and Friday, so we came back those 2 days, and then we went back on Saturday, Sunday. So we had a really great time. Parker got to fish a lot and drive the boat, and we just had a really nice time, kind of just disconnecting and not being at home. I got a lot of stitching done, so I'm really excited to show you. I had a new start for spring break, and I would say it's almost a finish. I'm just doing a little bit of like personalization, so I can't wait to show it to you. What else? Spring break was great. Work is great. It's starting to get really nice here. The weather's been like in the upper 70s and low 80s, so it's been just perfect. So spring is here. We're really excited. My husband mowed the yard for the first time this year, and our yard looks great. I'm kind of planning what I want to plant in our garden this year. I don't ever really do like a really big garden. I kind of just do like a salsa garden. I like having tomatoes, and we usually do like one or two little jalapeno plants and some little like spring onions. But I would really like to do a bigger garden with like some zucchini and things like that. But when I did it last time, I had like blossom rot, and so they were kind of a letdown. And I planted strawberries before, and it was great. We didn't get a lot of strawberries, but the only reason we didn't get a lot of strawberries is because Parker likes to play outside. So he would just go over to the garden and just pick the strawberries and just eat them. Like no washing them, no nothing, just eating them. So I kept wondering why we didn't have very many strawberries, and he fessed right up and was like, oh, I'm eating them. So anyway, so we may do some strawberries again this year. But anyway, let's get to stitching. So I did have one FFO, and I got it back from the framers, and I'm so excited to show this to you. I've had this pattern for probably 10 years, and I had seen a lot of stitchy friends who are stitching on it. Unfortunately, I didn't write it down, so let me pull my Instagram up real quick. It was Stitchy Sarah Reads, Allison Norris, Alley Cat 13, Michelle Lee Quilts, Jody Simply Stitching Ocala, Benton Station Crafter, and Short and Stitchy. They were all working on Lizzie Kate Things Unseen, and I'd wanted to start it for a long time. I'd actually had two previous starts where I had started it, and I either messed up or lost interest. So I felt like doing a stitch along was great motivation for me to actually like really put in work on it and get it done. And that's the beauty of a stitch along to me, is the fact that I'm stitching on something and I like seeing what everybody else is stitching on, and if they're doing any color changes or anything like that. And it's kind of fun to all start and see like how fast people are stitching and you know, just different ways people do things. So here's my finish. I am so pleased with how it turned out. I did do a couple changes. So first of all, I get my pieces framed at Hobby Lobby. I have a really great lady there, and she actually just left the framing department, and she got a promotion, so she's not actually like working in the framing department anymore. She's like an assistant to a manager or something. But anyway, so luckily she still frames my pieces for me. So I bring them to her house and she mounts them on the board, and then I go to the store and pick out the frame, and then they frame it for me. But I chose this frame. It was really pretty. And I did make a couple changes to this. So I left off the bottom row had in these kind of little rectangle boxes, it had a couple more of these kind of little motifs, and it had a vine with some more flowers on it. So I decided to personalize it, and I changed it to say the Jones family, which is our last name, established 2016, which is the year my husband and I got married. I'm not a butterfly girl, so I left off the butterfly right here, and instead I had these, it's kind of just like a little charm, and so I stitched these scissors here just to kind of give it a little something extra. I did some vintage buttons of my own here. I believe 1, 2, 3 Stitch, when I looked, they were out of the button pack, so I could either wait for it or I could improvise, and I just decided to do my own thing. So anyway, I'm really happy with how this turned out. I love the frame. It was so fun to work on, and it really stitched up pretty quickly. I think I was done in maybe a week and a half. It was not a very long time. I did do a full Color and Cotton color conversion on this piece. It is available at colorandcotton.com for purchase. I do know that they were out of a few of the colors, so I think they're dyeing some. But I do have all my colors listed, so what your best option might be would be just to write the colors down and go to the website and order the colors if they are available. I was kind of blown away when they started kitting up my color conversions, because they sold out really quickly. So I was really excited about that. And then there are some colors that I use that unfortunately are just not available anymore, because I've been in the Color and Cotton Thread Club for years, like since the beginning. So I have thousands of skeins of floss, and a lot of their stuff that was in the Color and Cotton Floss of the Month Club was limited edition. So what I have done is I try to find a really close substitution and recommend that, because that is what's available. So if I have a substitution, I will, make sure I post it on my Instagram. But if I don't, you're always welcome to call the shop or email the shop, and they can, make recommendations and things like that. So anyway, really happy with how that turned out. I can't wait to have it up. I'm probably going to rearrange some things up here on my kind of dresser and see if I can get things unseen up there. I'm also working on a sampler wall that's going to go across the hall from my dining room. I have a really big wall, and it's really pretty. You see it right when you walk in. So I'm really thinking that that's probably going to be a sampler wall, and I have a whole bunch of things that are ready to go on the wall. I just need to figure out how I want them arranged. So, okay, so let me show you my new start, and let me tell you a little bit about how this came to be. Here it is. Okay, so when I hosted the Blackbird Smalls Exchange a couple weeks ago, I had mentioned that I really wanted to stitch this piece here. I believe it's called Lily of the Valley. Yes, the Lily of the Valley. So this is the piece I wanted to stitch, and I ended up not stitching it. I went a totally different direction, but I was looking through this book the other day, and this is from the book And Blossoms as the Rose, and I came across this piece right here. This is Quaker Family Register, and I've never stitched anything like this before. I love stitching houses. I usually almost always have a house in the pieces I stitch, and there's a lot of houses in Blackbird charts. And if you look at this too, there's no bird. There's usually almost always a bird in any of the Blackbirds. But anyway, I just really was drawn to this piece. I don't know if it's because spring is right around the corner and I've been thinking about when I'm going to plant my flower beds or what, but something was just really pulling me towards this piece. So I decided that I was going to start this next. And let me show you the colors I chose. The colors that I'm using for this piece are all right here. Let me fan it out a little bit. It's just a really kind of pastel prim palette. So we have Gretel, which lately has kind of been my go-to pink. It's like a really kind of dusty mauvey pink. I have Peach Rose, Toasted Marshmallow, My gold is turmeric. I have 2 greens, mesquite, and Yuletide. My kind of blue is called pistachio. This is an older dye lot. You can tell it's on the older card. It's kind of like a gray blue, very pale. Lamb's wool and almond latte. So what I did was I just kind of started going motif by motif. I'm always a center starter, so I start in the middle, and here's where I'm at right now. So I've stitched all the flowers, and now I'm just on to the personalization. And I was really torn with how I wanted to personalize this piece. I've never done anything like this before. So what I decided to do is I was going to do me and my husband's names or initials and our wedding year and kind of, you know, our family. And then I kind of went down a different direction. My dad's family, my dad was born and raised in Elk Point, South Dakota, and he is one of 9 children. And ironically, when I was looking at this piece, you can see there's different initials throughout the piece. Penny, stop. There's different initials throughout the piece. Ironically, there were 9 initials. So I decided to make this a family piece with my grandpa's initials and my grandma's initials with her maiden name. And they raised their family in Elk Point, South Dakota. And I'm going to stitch their children's initials. And I'm doing first and middle names. So not the full name, but just, you know, Lori Jean. So it'd be LJ, things like that. So I'm really excited to get this done. Like I said, I've never stitched a piece like this before. My mom had sent me this picture that she had in her house for years, and it essentially was a family tree. And it had my grandparents' initials, or I'm sorry, their names on it and their date of birth. And then on the next branch of the tree, it was, you know, all their kids and stuff like that. It was really special. It was a little, it's not my taste. But the sentiment was there and it was really beautiful. So I wanted to do something similar that honors my dad's family, but maybe was more my aesthetic. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to having this finished. And it's the first time I've stitched something with stuff that wasn't just my immediate family. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I love the colors. I love the sentiment behind the piece, and it kind of got me going down a rabbit hole on genealogy. So I know of my, you know, my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and stuff, but then it kind of sparked me going down the rabbit hole a little bit more, like who are their grandparents and things like that. I have a lot of grandparents who passed away before I was born. So, and we live in Oklahoma, so we only used to go visit like on the holidays and maybe once or twice a year. So I don't have a lot of memories from when I was a kid, just because, you know, you're a kid. And but anyway, it's been really fascinating going down the family genealogy rabbit hole and finding out like what my great grandparents' names were, finding out little bits of information. I did on my mom's side of the family, I found like old pictures. So I found a picture from when my grandpa was maybe 3 years old. And anyway, I ended up tracing back on my mom's side of the family to, I think it's maybe like my 4th or 5th great grandparents, with names and dates of birth and stuff. So I'm really looking forward to stitching some things and trying to incorporate those names into some of the pieces. I know Lori Holt does a lot of stuff where she, you know, stitches a sampler and it's in remembrance of her great-great-grandmother and things like that. So I thought that was really special. So anyway, I was really excited. I was able to trace my family history back so far, and it was really special. So this piece will be a really special one for our family. So, okay. Oh, I guess I should also mention I stitched this on 32 count harvest wheat by Color and Cotton. So that is my linen on that. My market orders came in this week, so I didn't go overboard and I didn't really buy a ton of stuff, but I will show you what I did get. I did order a daily reminder, sorry for the glare, from Brenda Gervais. And I believe Tara Sullivan, Sully Stitches, is doing this for her birthday start in April. So I may hop in on that. Honestly, I just need to go through my stash and see what I have for linen and floss. But I really do love this. It says be good and do good. And it's just a really pretty. And gosh, I love that kind of pinky coral house. There you go. So fun. There's also a stitch along that's done by Shari Moss for hands-on design, Call Me Crafty, which I really want to stitch this. I love this whole series. It's so cute. So I will probably do this. I've stitched the quilt room and the quilt, like, not wordplay, what's it called? Let's Talk Chalk. I did the quilting one. I've done the stitching one too. So I definitely, this is right up my alley. Another one that I got, I don't have any plans to start this soon. I just really love the piece. This is Rose Hill Farm Sampler and Pin Keep from Stacey Nash. I love that border and that red house. So good. And I, of course, got both the new Blackbirds, both of the new Blackbirds. This is the Sweetbird Sing. And I'll show you what is in here. There is a needle roll, which is this one, really pretty. This one's called In the Open Field. And it's a pincushion, which these are perfect for like whenever I host those Blackbirds small stitching exchanges. So cute. A lot of times I stitch something, and I think the very first one I did was, the theme was it has to have a bird on it. And then the last one I did was it had to have a flower. So that was really fun. And then this one is very similar to the other one, except this one's called Dear Friend. But they both have two birds, and they're very, very similar. So, okay, I got that. Then I also got the other Blackbird, which is Gifts of the Season. This was my favorite release for market. I saw that house and that kind of urn with the flowers, and I was like, okay, that's my first market start. I love it. So, I have everything pulled for it. This is another piece that's in there. This is Jane Fawn's 1825. And the whole sampler is in there for this. There's also, obviously, the smaller version, Gifts of the Season, which is the same one that was on the cover. Then this is called the Attic 2023. Just a small from the retreat, and it's just the flower pot and the flowers. And the last one is called The World Around, and they have this finished into like a paperweight. But that's really fun too. That'd be another really good piece for a smalls exchange. Okay, so that being said, this will be my next start. Let me show you the stuff I've picked for it. I did place an order recently from Cedar River Linen. I really have heard a lot of great things about it, and I wanted to try it. So I got a piece of 32 count salt ash. It is a really nice kind of neutral. It's a very kind of creamy neutral. I love it. And these are the colors that I have chosen. Let's see if I can hold them up a little bit better. I did have a little accident when I was getting all my flosses out and together. I had another old skein of pistachio, and if you look at this one here, the top hole has kind of ripped, and so I had another skein of this that I picked up on a de-stash site, and when I wasn't careful, and so obviously the top had ripped, but this bottom piece had ripped too, so there wasn't anything holding the thread onto the card. So I had to switch to one of the clear like thread drops, which is fine. I know what it is, but still it was just a little frustrating because I'm a little OCD and now they all don't match. So I know it's a first world problem, but I like for things to match. Anyway, the colors I chose are Ferris Wheel. My pink is called Princess. My gold is Old Gold. Then we have Mesquite for my green. This one's out of print, an old one, so it's not available anymore. It's called Viridian. It's kind of a gray blue. This is the old dye lot of Pistachio, which is a really kind of pale blue. We have Sparrow, Peanuts, and Hot Tea. So I think those are going to look really nice together on this linen. That's kind of what it looks like together. So really, really pretty. I will say, as I was looking at this and kind of pulling colors, let me pull to the front of the sampler again. I feel like there are a lot of kind of golds in this piece. These little kind of deer are a very kind of gold yellow. These baskets are very kind of gold as well. The bird has a lot of gold in it. So I did pick one gold, and it was Old Gold. But the deer and the baskets, I think I'm going to go in more of a kind of brown colorway. Let me put these up behind it. So it's going to have a little bit more brown in it, I think, than the golds. I felt like the golds were really brassy, and I just didn't like it. So anyway, and I'm using this thread drop that my friend Sharon made me. So thank you, Sharon. Anyway, so that will be my next start. And I'll start on that as soon as I get Quaker Family Register completed. And then I also pulled another start, and I don't know when I'm going to start this, but I just love it. This is Garden Borders by Blackbird. It's part of the Loose Feathers series, Abecedarian series number 12. I'm not sure if this is still in print anymore. I kind of don't think it is, but I really want to stitch this. It's been in my like 2-stitch pile for a long time. So I did go ahead and pull colors for it. This is kind of the palette I've chosen. My colors are Winterberry, which is my red, Primrose, Goldcrest is my yellow, 2 greens, Holly and Tadpole. Holly's on top, Tadpole's on bottom. 2 blues, Trapeze and Tambourine. Trapeze on top, Tambourine on bottom. My white is Snowflake, and it's not really used in here a ton, just around the doors and the window. Kind of creamy tan called Sandcastle, and then my roof is Paving Stones. So I love that. I'm going to be stitching it on my Color and Cotton linen of the month from last month called Treasure Map. It is a really nice neutral. It's very similar, I would say, to Vintage Country Mocha. So this is what they will all look like on the fabric. So I'm really happy with that. I think that'll look really nice, because if you look at the picture, the linen is kind of more gold on that as well. So I think this will be a really good combination together. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to start that. It might not be for a while, because honestly, if I start that Gifts of the Season and then I also start a daily reminder for Tara's birthday, that will be 2 kind of bigger pieces. And I know myself, and that's about how many I'm comfortable working on at a time, because I feel like if I have too many whips, then I get overwhelmed and then I don't end up working on anything, and then I just have projects kitted sitting in bags, and I don't like doing that. So everybody, you do what works for you. I like having like kind of one like medium-sized piece or one large piece, and then maybe like 1 or 2 smalls to work on. But if I do 2 kind of bigger pieces, what's the stitch count on this? is 191 by 176. So stitched on 36 count. The finished size is 10.5 by 9 3/4 for that. So that one's kind of big. And then for gifts of the season, the stitch count is 157 by 169 on 36 count. It comes out to 8 3/4 by 9 3/8. So both are kind of bigger pieces. So if I start both, then garden borders will have to wait. So let me show you a little bit of haul, and then whoops, I'll do a little bit of haul. We talked about plans. I do have a plan too, and I don't know when it's going to happen. Maybe if I don't do 2 big pieces, I'll do another small, but I really want to do an animal cracker. I've seen so many people hopping on the animal cracker train, and I want to jump aboard. I have 2 animal crackers. I have Maggie May and I have Frankie, which is the little wiener dog. I have wiener dogs at my house. My little girls, Molly and Penny, and I couldn't see a cross stitch with a wiener dog on it and not get it. They're my favorite. So anyway, I'm not sure. I kind of, like I said, everybody's doing Maggie May, and I really want to do her. And I love seeing everybody's outfits. They're choosing to stitch, you know, changing her cardigan color, changing her dress. So fun. It reminds me of paper dolls. When I was a kid, I had paper dolls and I loved them. So it kind of reminds me of that. But I also haven't seen a lot of people stitching Frankie, and that might be kind of a fun thing to do that not everybody else is doing. So I'd really like to do one of those. Let me show you the rest of my haul, and then we will wrap this up. Okay, so I placed an order from Color and Cotton this last week, and it arrived, and I kind of just went with colors that I use very frequently, and I'm starting to get patriotic stitching kind of on my brain, so I wanted to make sure I ordered plenty of reds and whites that I like to use. Usually for my patriotic stitching, I don't do a really bright kind of color palette. I like, my aesthetic is I want to picture that it looks like the colors of like a faded American flag. I want it to look worn and vintage and very well loved. So the colors I have been using a lot for my patriotic stitching, this is Ferris wheel. It is kind of a dusty red, maybe like a creamy red. It's not really super bright. My pink that I've been using a ton of lately is Gretel. It is this like mauve-y kind of a dusty pink. I love this color. This is Hansel. It is a very kind of creamy teal, a light teal. This one's a fun one. It's called Tomato Leaves. It is kind of a really yellowy green. And then I got a skein of Old Gold and 2 other reds, Love Bug. So that was one skein that I got. And then my go-to brown, I love this one. It's Almond Latte. It's just a great brown. It's not too yellow. It's not too dark. It's just a really great kind of neutral brown. This other red I got is called Old Brick. I got 2 skeins of Old Lace, which is a really great white. It's not super bright. It's just got a lot of really great tone in it. I don't even want to say it's creamy. It's just a really great non-bright white. Then I have these 2. These are Cozy Sweater, and this is a little bit more yellow white. If we look at them together, you can kind of see that the top one is a little bit brighter than the bottom. One of my favorite reds is called Winterberry. And then I got 2 skeins of Winter Tide, which is a little bit of a teal, but I really like the Cozy Sweater, Winterberry, and Winter Tide together. It makes just kind of a really nice faded kind of flag palette. So anyway, I hope that made sense. I felt like I just did a whole bunch of like word vomit with colors. Okay, my Color Cotton thread. Oh, I picked up some fabric when we were at the lake house. There's a quilt shop right across the street, and it's a real small one. It's called, I'll have to put it in the description because I don't remember. It's my first time being there. But anyway, I just got a couple little fat quarters. I got this really pretty blue and white. I'm pretty sure this is a Bonnie and Camille, or Thimble Blossoms. I don't know what this is. Whoops. But I just thought it was really pretty. Great for little pillow finishes, backing. I got this. It's just a really pretty light blue. And then I'm not a purple girl at all, but I saw this and just thought it was really pretty. And it's not even really purple. It's more like a fuchsia. But anyway, I just thought it was fun. So I got a couple fat quarters there. Excuse me, I showed you my market charts. Oh, I got from Color and Cotton. They had a new gradient set. And this is the Princess colorway. It's 5 skeins of various pinks and dark red. Really nice. And I also love too, whenever you order, you know, multiple skeins of stuff, they put it on this cute little ring so it all stays together nicely. And then one thing I ordered, I went down the rabbit hole last week and I was looking at Blackbird charts, and Blackbird also does quilting books. So I actually ordered this book called Women of Grace and Charm, a quilting tribute to the women who served in World War II. Yes, that's what it looks like. And there was a cross stitch chart in here, and it was one I'd never seen before. And so I had to order it, even though I'm not a quilter. But I mean, the patterns are great in here. There's lots of, you know, lots of patterns. Well, where's the chart? I should have bookmarked it. So sorry. Here we go. This is called A Tribute to Cross Stitch. And there it is. Kind of pretty. A basket with sampler letters and flowers and things like that. It is all done monochromatic. It's called for Gentle Arts Black Crow. I think it'd be really fun to stitch this, but colorize it so the flowers are a different color and the letters are a different color. So I decided to order the book. It was really reasonable. It was on like one of those like thrift books websites, or one. Basically, it used to be part of the Mid-Continent Public Library system. So I'm sure they just were cleaning up their, you know, stash of books that maybe hadn't been checked out in a while or something. So anyway, but I was really glad to have this. So I will be adding that to my Blackbird stash. Everything else in there is quilt patterns. I think there's one punch needle in there. But, you know, I bought the entire book for what I would have paid for a cross stitch pattern. So I was fine with that. Let's go and talk about our winners from our previous giveaway. I had 2 winners. Let me grab the other book. Okay, so 2 winners. Special word was rainbow for this chart right here. It was the March Sampler of the Month from Country Cottage Needleworks. And the winner is Emmy Rose 22A. Congratulations. If you will send me a message on my Instagram, which is at Mrs. Jones Stitches, I will get your address and pop this in the mail to you. Please make sure you're over 18. If you're not over 18, I don't know, talk to your mom and have her claim it for you. And the other one is the Catherine Sheenaman Township 1840 Antique Reproduction Sampler from Cross Stitch Antiques. This is from the Kitten Stitcher Advent Box. It's beautiful, but probably not something I would stitch. So the winner on this is Vintage Cottage Stitches. Congratulations. Please send me a message and I will get this in the mail to you. So I have 3 giveaways this week, and then we will wrap this video up. Okay, so the first giveaway is also from the Shakespeare's Peddler Advent from last year. And this is 4 Red Alphabets by Needlework Press. Really pretty. One thing I really like about this, and what you can easily do, is stitch one of these letters and do something like a personalized pincushion. or something like that. Initials on like a little box or stitching case would be really, really cute. So if you would like to win this chart, use the word alphabet in your comment. Make sure you like the video, make sure you are a subscriber to my channel, and then use the word alphabet to be entered to win. The next one is also from the Shakespeare's Peddler Advent Box. This is from the Primitive Hair. This is Miss Flora Flanny Flax. This little winter fox is looking very dapper in her gown. If you would like to win this, please use the word primitive in your comment. Make sure, again, that you like and subscribe to my channel, like the video, and leave me a comment using the word primitive, and she can be yours. And the last one is from With Thy Needle and Thread. This is the J.M. Garner 1888 Antique Reproduction Sampler. And here it is. Sorry for the glare. If you would like to win this, please use the word antique in your comment. Again, make sure you like and subscribe, and I will get that popped in the mail to you as well. So, friends, thank you so much. That's all I got this time. Thank you so much for watching. Again, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on any more videos, and happy stitching. I hope you have lots of new things to be working on. I hope you are maybe considering participating in a whip, or not whip, a stitch along. They're really fun to do if you've never done them before, and it's fun to see other people working on the same thing. So lots of fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Happy stitching.